Welcome to Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast for dreamers, doers, and everyday people making it happen. Whether you're building a business, a mindset, or a better version of yourself, this is your space to stay grounded, get inspired, and keep growing no matter how full your calendar gets. So if you're chasing your dreams and figuring it out as you go, this is your space to stay motivated and keep building. So tune in every week for new episodes. Hello everyone, and welcome back to another episode of Booked, Busy, and Building, the podcast where we talk about building the life you actually want. Today, we are going to talk all about having a non-linear life and why this could actually get you further than any straight path ever could. We have all been told this narrative that life is supposed to look like this perfect straight line and it's supposed to be the successful thing to do or follow. You graduate college, you get your degree, you get the 9-to-5 corporate job, you get married, buy the house, the white picket fence, then you retire, etc. Like, it's really this narrow, one path, one direction, one timeline kind of thing. The thing is, when you look at successful people, or when you ask successful people, how did they get to where they are today? Or when you actually study the stories of maybe role models or people or inspirations that you look up to, you see that it's never the same story being replicated. It's never the same story being told twice, because everybody is on their own path and everybody is on their own journey. It's a million different things that this one individual did that ended up somehow leading them to where they are today. And if I'm being 100% honest, having a non-linear life myself has made me so much more happier, so much more fulfilled. I've been able to explore and collect skills and experiences and lessons and all of these different things that have really just allowed my curiosity to move, and I'm growing with it. And I'm being moved and making decisions by that instead of trying to follow some checklist or something that society has put on us. So today I really want to break down why these zigzags and up and down directions and all of these different things are not actually detours from your desired path or from where it is that you want to end up. This actually is the path that you are meant to go down, even if it doesn't feel like it and even if it doesn't look like it. And before we dive into the rest of the episode, please do not forget to rate this podcast, especially if these tips or any of my past episodes have been helpful for you, because you never know if somebody else may also need to hear this message. Before we dive in, we are also going to talk a little bit about our weekly Booked, Busy, and Building check-in, which are 3 things to ask ourselves at the beginning of every episode. So number 1 is, what opportunities are you stepping into this week and how are you staying booked? So if you guys have been active on my personal YouTube channel, or if you have been on my TikTok journey with me, I have been trying to really go on this journey where I am staying consistent, and I want to stay consistent enough with my habits and my routines and the things it is that I'm doing long enough so that I can see these results compounded. And I don't know if you guys believe in like zodiac sign stuff or like tarot card readings, but I do like to listen to them sometimes just to see like what is going on. And there is this specific YouTuber that I really like to watch. His name is Chris, but his YouTube channel is called Mano Pontero. I love his Gemini readings. My zodiac sign is a Gemini. I feel like they've been so accurate for like the last year, or like the last maybe like almost year that I have been listening to them. So many of the things that I listen to when it comes to that have just been so specific, or it ends up being something that like later down the road I'm like, wait, I feel like I remember hearing about this. But all of that to say is, when I was listening to the reading today, he was basically saying like, you need to stay consistent and you need to just like stick to one thing and do this, even if it's boring, even if like whatever it may be. Like, you just need to find something and stick with it long enough to just see it actually go through. And that to me was just so crazy, because this entire like last 2 weeks I've just been really focusing on redoing my routines, redoing things, and trying to figure out like, how can I really stay on top of what it is that I'm doing and not try to find a path on the side, not try to pivot and do something new. Because I'm someone that when something doesn't work immediately, and sometimes when I don't see that instant result, I'm like, wait, why did this not happen yet? Now I got to pivot and do something else. And that is something obviously I'm actively working through, because I'm like, girl, you are obviously not going to get instant gratification. And I've gotten a lot better at it. But all that to say, hearing that sign, it was kind of just like really funny, because over the last 2 weeks, that has literally been my goal. Like, I want to step into staying consistent enough to finally see my results compound. Number 2 is, what is taking up your time and energy right now and what is keeping you busy? So as I mentioned before, reworking my morning routine, trying out new things this week, like for example, journaling, meditating, reading in the morning, etc. And again, I talked about this more in my YouTube video on getting back on routine and stuff, because I have noticed that when you enter new eras and new seasons of your life, what you used to do before is not probably going to be the thing that is going to work right now. Like the things that I was doing when I was living at my mom's, or things that I did when I was 18 or 19, are not the things that are going to be the same even a few months later, even a few years later. And so I'm really trying to just figure out, like, what can I do to like rework my morning routines so that I can be a lot more energized and like really bring that positive energy for the rest of the day? But also, how can I get my night routine set up properly so that I am also set up in the morning? So I'm really just trying to figure out, like, I'm entering this new era, I'm having all these different like mini revelations, and I'm really figuring things out and like learning more about myself every single day in really good ways. And so with that means I also want to rework my routine. So that is keeping me busy right now, because I'm trying new things and I'm documenting it as well for you guys to also see on TikTok as well as on my personal YouTube channel. And lastly, what are you intentionally working towards for your future self and building? So I am really focusing on taking out what is not working anymore for me in my life and focusing on what is filling my cup. Over the last couple of months, I have really been looking super deeply into what is feeding me, like energy wise, what is making me feel good, and whether that is not hanging out with certain people, or whether it is doing less of this thing and doing more of that, or where can I sacrifice more, where can I be a little bit more disciplined, like really narrowing down what do I want my life to look like, because I am now 24 years old. My birthday was last month, and I have really been looking a lot more into my future. And for example, today, my boyfriend and I, we love to go to this Nordstrom rack that's like 30 minutes away from where we live. It's in a beautiful area. The mall is so gorgeous there. It's like near a world market and all these different things. And I love to go to this specific area to shop because it is just such a nice area. And just driving through the town, driving through the streets, seeing the big houses, the beautiful yards, the for sale signs, it's like, I wish this is where like I could have a house. I want to live here. And that is something that I'm like, that doesn't need to be so far away. Like, why does it need to feel like, oh, in 10 years I'll get my dream house, in 10 years I'll live where it is that I want to live? But what if I just started making small changes now into my everyday routine that can help me get closer to that, so it doesn't take 10 years, or it doesn't take the amount of time that in my head it feels like it's so far away. And so I'm really like reworking, what can I do now to get me closer to my dream life? What can I do starting today to really feed into that life and feed into that energy? And it's starting by looking at what's working and what's not. So I really recommend you guys also doing that if you kind of feel the same way, where you know your specific dream, you know your specific goal, and you can literally see it like picture perfect clear in your head. Figure out what does not need your energy more in your life and what could you be putting way more time into. Tip number 1, when it comes to why having a non-linear life can actually get you further, is you have no cap at what can happen to you. By this, I basically mean there is no maximum capacity of like, once I get to this, that is it, and like nothing more is going to happen in your life. There is no ceiling for whatever it is that you want out of this life. When you stop forcing yourself into one lane, you truly start to see all of those possibilities. And I really felt this when I was graduating college, because I always thought like, this is the path I need to go on, this is what I need to do. And having college for those 4 years was truly such a great experience. And obviously, sometimes I get really overwhelmed by it because of the student loans and the debt and all of those different things and like how I started my early 20s. But at the same time, I'm so grateful because having those 4 years allowed me to really experiment. And I think I've mentioned this before on my other episode, where I've literally said college, like right before I started, I gave myself this timeline where I was like, you have 4 years to go and try a bunch of different things, but you need to use these next 4 years to properly set yourself up so that when you graduate, you can be like, I did these internships, I did these part-time jobs, I did XYZ, I did all of the crazy random things. And I am so grateful that I put myself on that timeline essentially, because now I can say like, I did all of these different things and I collected all these experiences and these lessons, and now I am the person that I am today because of those different things. But I realized like there is no ceiling on what I want out of this life. Just because I'm going for a fashion business management degree does not mean that is my end all be all. Like when I graduated college, I did not go into the fashion industry. I literally started working at a startup skincare brand led by a celebrity. Like I never thought that that was going to be my life. And then now I'm working at another startup, and I've now worked at 3 startups, and I'm 24 years old. When you get out of this one track mind and you're like, this is what my life needs to be like, when you put yourself out of that mindset, you are opening yourself up to so many outcomes that you genuinely could not have even planned for. Like all of the things that have happened to me in my life up until this moment have genuinely been things that are because of work that I have put in. Opportunities that I've gotten have literally been because of the work that I have put in. But it's also like, you can't obviously plan out everything. You can't plan out all these different opportunities because life happens the way that it's meant to. But some of the best things that happen to us only show up or happen because we took the weird route, or because we took the detour, or because we took the 1-year gap, whatever it may be. Money, success, dreams, all the things it is that we want, it will eventually follow you, but only when you actually chase what matters to you and what you actually love. Like what feeds your soul, what feeds your creativity, what fills your cup. Don't just do things because this is what looks good on paper. Like at the end of the day, this is also your first time living life. So sometimes the most unexpected paths and the most unexpected things that you do can actually be the best things that might need to happen to you without you even realizing it. Stop treating these unexpected things that come into your life like, oh, this is a bad sign, or maybe this is a red flag, or maybe like this isn't a good idea. Like start welcoming these things with open arms, because every successful person, again, that you admire, or role models, or people that you look up to, or whoever it may be, a lot of these people have had so many different stories. And again, like I said in the beginning, it's not replicable because you are meant to go on your own path and your own journey. So if you want to be a successful best-selling author, just because you're trying to follow the path of your favorite author does not mean your life is also going to lead that same way. Everybody is going to have a different life, but remember that you just need to remove this ceiling that you have on yourself and truly just let go, be free, and go where your curiosity is taking you. Go where your heart wants to go, because at the end of the day, that is going to fill your cup, not something that you're seeing on social media, not something that you think is going to make you happy. Like, do what you genuinely believe and know, this is what I want and this is what makes me happy. Tip number 2, which is probably the wake-up call that I think we all need, is that a non-linear path is still a path. When I finally came to this conclusion, I feel like my world just like really opened up for me, because a lot of the times we see this specific vision in our head. Like we are like, this is the path that we are meant to go down. It doesn't mean that it's the whole like white picket fence, 6-figure bank account, or like family on the farm, like whatever it may be. Like sometimes it's not what we plan, but that does not mean that we are moving backwards in any kind of way. Like you are still moving forward in some kind of way, whether it's a zigzag or going up and down, all around, whatever it may be, we are still moving forward and there is still some kind of motion. And I actually watched a really interesting YouTube video this week all about like why people suddenly blow up and like what is this success behind these people that are suddenly nothing to something. And it's not this video about like how to go viral or like how people become successful, whatever it may be. It's literally about like the science behind why some people suddenly blow up, whatever it may be and whatever definition it is, like maybe on social media or maybe an athlete or whatever it may be. And one of the things that he mentioned, because he mentions it's 4 levels, one of the levels that he mentions is literally how you just need to stop letting go of the motion and trying different things to see what is going to work, when like you just need to be putting motion every single day. Don't do something for 2 days, then stop, then pick it up again a week later, then stop. Like have this continuous motion. Yes, you can try a million different things. Yes, you can try all of these different paths, but it's about not giving up in between. Like if something doesn't work, literally drop it, go and pick up something new and try something else. I've literally been doing that basically my entire life, where I feel like I have always been in motion. I've always been trying something new. If I'm not happy with this job, I'm going to start looking at other jobs before I quit. And then once I put my 2 weeks in, I already have something else lined up somewhere else. Like I am always trying to stay in motion, because you never know what is going to be the thing that can really pick up and just go from there. And it's like this quote that I have that is saved as like the wallpaper on my phone, where it literally says, it feels like nothing is happening, then everything happens all at once. And that is exactly how life is. Like things are happening in the back end, even if we cannot see it. And those are the things that are going to lead us to where it is that we want to be. Instead of putting all this pressure on yourself to try to make the right career decision or the right relationship decision or whatever it may be on the first time around, understand that whatever decision you make is still going to move you forward in some kind of way, whether it's only one step forward or 2 steps front or even 5, 10, whatever it may be, you are still learning something from it. So as you try new things, you are collecting advice and lessons and skills and experiences, and it's almost like data. Like you are literally using it as, how can I now take this, reframe it, and try to learn from it? When I was trying out all these different internships, I was literally using it as like fun. I was like, this internship, I'm going to try this out. When I didn't like it or I didn't really feel like I was learning anything, once that was done, I was like, okay, I cleaned that up, I put that file away, and I'm like, what's the new thing that I can try? And I tried all these different internships. I've tried so many different jobs, and all of that has led me to now where I am today, because again, I'm using all these different things as experience and data, and I'm really analyzing it. Like, what did I enjoy about this job? How can I use that to try to be happy in my next job? Or how can I use that to try to find my next role that I feel like I'm really gonna like? So this pressure to have things and getting it right the first time, it's really all made up. Like, nobody lives this perfect life where everything is just straight down. You are allowed to change direction. You are allowed to try new things, because you are literally learning something new about yourself every single day. The girl that I was 2 weeks ago, that is not the girl that I am today. Like, every day, I promise you, I am trying to learn and be better and be someone new. And what I wanted to do in high school, that is not what I ended up wanting to do at the end of college. And what I wanted to do at the end of college is not now what I want to do as I'm entering like mid-ish, early 20s still. Like, everything is changing as we go on, but we need to let go of this. Everything is going to be a straight path. Like, you are still moving forward, even when directions change, even when you're going here, there, XYZ, whatever it may be. Moving forward is still counting as moving forward, even if it's a zigzag or up and down or whatever it may be. The direction is still going forward. Tip number 3 is multi-passionate people collect skills, experiences, and lessons that lead them to their next move. So this is exactly what I just talked about in the previous tip, but I really want to break it down on why you should be letting your curiosity and your passions and whatever fills your cup be the thing that drives you. I'm the person that my entire life, up until just a few years ago, when I had certain kinds of friends, I wanted to be cool. I wanted them to like me. I wanted to do things that would kind of like help me fit in. And when I finally got to a stage and an era in my life where I was like, I don't care what people think. I don't care if someone says this or judges me for that or whatever it may be. When I finally let go of that outside noise and those external opinions, that is when my life just became so much better. I became so much more free. And it's because I stopped wanting to do things that other people wanted me to do, and I stopped trying to fit their box and their norm. Instead, I started letting my own life drive myself. Like, I stopped sitting in the passenger seat of my life, and I moved over to the driver's seat, and I was like, where do I want to go? What do I want to do? Okay, I want to work in this brand. I'm going to try that. I'm going to apply for this job. I'm going to post this kind of video. I'm going to do XYZ. Like, when I fully let go of that outside noise, life truly opened up for me. And so whatever it is that you find interesting, that needs to be your drive, because the longer that you live your life trying to fill up everything else that make other people happy, you are never going to be fully happy yourself. You're going to keep wasting your own life and trying to be this version that other people want you to be. But it's like, you are working on building the version of yourself that you want to be, and you're building the life it is that you want. So start collecting all of this information. Start trying different experiences. Start saying yes even if you don't want to. Like, every job or every city you move into or every business that you try, like, all of these different things are quietly preparing you for what is going to be next. Even if you can't see it at the time, I promise you, just a few years later, you are probably going to be like, wait, that is why this thing happened. And one of my favorite commencement speeches is from Steve Jobs. And he literally says, like, you cannot connect the dots looking forward, only backwards. Like, what you are doing as you're moving forward, it's not going to make sense. But then when you finally sit down and you look back at your life, you're like, oh my God, that is why I did this, and that is why this happened, and why I connected with this person and had this job and whatever it may be. So it's like, when you stay on only one path, you are basically only becoming one version of yourself. You're only ever going to be this one boxed in thing versus someone who could have tried a bunch of different things and collected all these different experiences, and you could have been the person living the life it is that you have always wanted. Nothing is ever truly linear, whatever it may be, whether it's in relationships or careers or whatever it is that you want, but things are going to come in waves. Like, things are going to come and kind of up and down. There's going to be good seasons of your life. There's going to be bad seasons. There's going to be those in between weird kind of seasons where you're like, I don't know why this happened, or like, I experienced this, but there are going to be all kinds of seasons in life. The one thing that you need to truly, truly, truly focus on is looking at, what am I learning from this? Or again, trying to connect those dots, looking backwards, really rewiring the way that you are seeing certain experiences, because everything is like collecting this new data that is going to help you eventually in your next step, that is going to help you in your next move. And for me, in college, trying all these different jobs, trying all these different internships, connecting with people, starting social media, all of these little pieces that in the moment I thought was me just like trying to fill my time and trying to make extra money and trying to have a side hustle, trying to build my social media, all these different things, like in the end, all these little things were little pieces that ended up fitting my puzzle and my life, and I'm still working towards what is my next thing, but everything is literally like a puzzle piece helping you build the bigger picture. The last and final tip for today's episode is stop seeking certainty. That is literally it. 3 words. Stop trying to look for something that makes sense. Stop trying to look for the 100% answer to whatever it is that you want or whatever it is that you are working towards. Our brains, it hates the unknown. It hates uncertainty, and you by default are always going to pick the safe option. You're always going to pick the safe choice because, again, that is what our brain is only known to do, and that is what our brain is comfortable with doing, your body, whatever it may be. But when you try something new, when you do something that's a little bit out of the ordinary, a little bit different, you are going to realize, wait, like, this is probably what I should have been doing all along. Like, for example, me starting out doing fashion business management and then pivoting into social media and then now pivoting to working at a tech startup that's like in social media. It's things that I could have never planned for, and my whole life I've been trying to like seek certainty, seek 100% answer in everything it is that I do, but nothing is 100% certain. You just do it, you try it out, and again, you collect those experiences and you collect those lessons. Your heart is always going to be like, this is what I want to do, but your brain is always going to contradict that and be like, but this is the smart thing you should do. This is the safe thing that you should do. And of course, it depends whatever kind of situation you're in. Like, I'm not saying go and buy a house when you're severely in debt or go and buy this expensive thing when you probably shouldn't. That is not what I mean. Like, obviously there's time and place for certain things, but when it comes to like whatever you want to get out of this life, our brain and our body is always going to do the thing that is the most comfortable. So from now on, I challenge you to try to do something that, again, is going to fill your cup. Like, why don't we really break down what energizes you? What actually makes you happy? What are you curious about? Don't just do something, again, because this is just what looks good on paper. You need to take off this pressure that we all have on ourselves. Like, lower the stakes and realize that we are out here, like, not doing out of the ordinary, crazy, out of the blue things. Like, when we really think about it, don't beat yourself up over the fact that you don't want to be in the current environment that you're in and you want to try something new. Or maybe you love the job that you're at, but maybe you want to make a little bit more money and you kind of want to start a little side hustle, whatever it may be. Don't be afraid to go out there and do that. Like, again, let's bring back tip number 1. You have no cap on what can happen to you. So stop trying to force a straight line. Stop trying to be like, my life needs to be on this linear path, whatever it may be. Again, every zigzag, every up and down, that is still some kind of forward motion. Instead of reacting to uncertainty or unpredictability as like it's something that is bad, or I don't know how this is going to be, I don't know where this is going to lead me, start welcoming it with open arms and start rephrasing how you are seeing new things entering your life. Like, let's stop looking at these new things as if it is something that is negative, and let's start really being happy and, like, again, accepting what is coming into our life, even if it is new, whether it is a new job or you are going into a new position or you're going to a new school or you're trying a new major or you do something new, whatever it may be. let's start welcoming it with open arms, because you never know if this can be the thing that can lead you exactly where you are meant to be. But it's all about trying to get out of this, like, I need everything to be perfect mode, and just, we need to stop seeking certainty, because everything is going to lead us where we are meant to be. Even if we cannot see it right now, there's little things happening in the background, there's things that are happening in the back end, that one day it is all going to make sense. Thanks for tuning in to Booked, Busy, and Building, where we keep it real, stay growing, and are always showing up for ourselves. Remember that you're not behind, you're in the middle of becoming, so keep building what matters, and the life you want is already yours. And until next time, stay booked, stay busy, and keep building.